Imagine for a moment living in Rome in the first century, a long, 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 long time ago. As Christians, it wasn't very popular to follow Christ. In fact, if someone was found out following Jesus, they could be put in prison for it. And so the Christians, they weren't even allowed to come to a church like this on Sunday. They had to go underground into what was called the catacombs to celebrate Mass. And one Sunday morning, a little boy, the age of 12, whose name is Tarcisius, went to the catacombs and went down there to be able to be at Mass and to receive Jesus in Holy Communion. And so he went down there with others and they celebrated the Mass. And after the Mass, the bishop said, "I have a message. There are some Christians who are in prison and they're asking to have communion brought to them." But it was very, very dangerous to do this because if they were caught, they too could be thrown in prison. And so the bishop looked around and none of the adults raised their hand to do this. The little Tarcisius raised his hand and he said, "I'll do it." And the people looked at him and said, "A little boy? You're going to take Jesus to the people in prison?" He said, "Yes, I'll do it. No one will expect a little boy." And so the bishop carefully took the host that were consecrated at that Mass and he wrapped them up in a little tulle and he gave them to Tarcisius. And Tarcisius knew that it was Jesus that he was taking to these people, and he held Jesus close to his heart. And out onto the street he went. And as he was walking by a group of his friends who saw him, they said, "Hey, Tarcisius, we're playing a game and we need one more person to join us. Come join us." And Tarcisius said, "I can't right now. I have a very, very important job to do." And they said, "Come on, Tarcisius, come and play with us. And by the way, Tarcisius, what's in your hands? Show us." And Tarcisius said, "I can't. I have a very special job that I have to do." And the boys began to make fun of him, and they began to hit him. They were kind of bullies, and they were mean to him. But Tarcisius held Jesus close to his heart. He said, "Jesus, I love you, and I don't want anything to harm you. They might harm me, but Jesus, I don't want anything to harm you because I love you." And as they were hitting this little boy, a man in the street saw the commotion. He said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Tarcisius, he's a Christian." And the man came up to him and hit him as hard as he could. And Tarcisius fell to the ground. And he was laying there on the ground. And he prayed, "Jesus, please, please help me protect you, that nothing will happen to you." And as he was laying there, a soldier came by. But Tarcisius recognized him. He was a Christian too. And he said to him, "Will you please take Jesus from my arms and take him to these people so that they can have Jesus?" And the soldier took Jesus from him and took him to the people imprisoned. And unfortunately, Tarcisius died, but he went to heaven that day to be with Jesus. What a special gift to be with God in heaven. And from this story, there's one thing I want you children to remember. It's the word altar. That's where Tarcisius took our Lord from the altar to carry him to the people. Altar, it begins with the word A. That word A, it stands for adoration. Tarcisius came to adore Jesus at Mass. And then we have the word L. The word L in altar, it stands for love. What was Tarcisius' prayer? That he loved Jesus so much that he wanted to protect him, that nothing would happen to him. And then we have the word T. The word T stands for thanksgiving. Tarcisius thanked Jesus for having this great opportunity to take him to these people who were in prison. And then we have the word A. A stands for ask. In just a little bit, you're going to receive Jesus in your heart. Let's show Jesus that we adore him. Let's show Jesus that we love him. When you come back to your pew after receiving him, thank Jesus for this beautiful gift that you received today, and every single time you come to church and you can receive him in Holy Communion. And don't forget to ask Jesus for what you want, what you need in your daily life. And then the last word in the letter in the word altar is R. Make a resolution this day that you will always love Jesus and you'll do whatever you can to help to protect him and to make him known and loved in our world today. Jesus said in our gospel tonight, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. And if we keep close to Jesus like little Tarcisius did, when we come to the end of our life, Jesus will welcome us into heaven as well. That's where we want to be, with God, with our family, to praise Jesus for all eternity. Remember the word altar tonight as you receive Jesus from the altar in your heart and in your soul. May God bless you today on this beautiful day when you receive Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament in Holy Communion.